projects here. Sorry, I forgot you were recording this. Yeah, so the
Hey,
first
Peter.
thing, yes.
Oh, is it okay to record? Because I just thought
Yeah.
maybe it would be a great resource to post on the class.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't sure you were recording, so I kind of started and I'll start again.
No, I totally meant to say something and then I realized I forgot. Sorry. Okay, yes, we
You're
are
all good.
live. Okay.
Okay, so the first tip I have is creating a special project file that you're going to keep all your design files in. This just helps make sure all your group members have access to everything. So you want to go over here to the side menu when you first log into Figma to all projects and then create a new one. You can name it whatever you want for purposes. I'm just gonna name it Figma test, continue. And then for emails, just put the student emails in there because the education one is connected to your student accounts. So that should be the free one. Yeah, so they all have access to it and make sure it's can edit and not can view. And then create project. It should show up in your sidebar here. And then to create a design file, you're just going to go create and then design over here. And this is going to be the big artboard that you're going to work in. And when you're collaborating with other people, you're going to see like their other mouse and their names next to it, which is pretty cool feature that was very helpful when I was doing the project because we'd all just go on a Teams call and just work on Figma, and then if someone was like stuck on something, we could see where they were and try and help out, or like, oh, what do you think of this? So that's a really nice feature Figma has that other programs don't, is that collaborative feature where everybody could log on. Okay, so you want to title it probably like, I don't know, lo-fi prototype or something like that. And I can't type. There we go. And then when I mentioned saving everything, you want to use these pages feature. To make a new page, you just do the plus sign and maybe it's like version 2. This is going to be every time you have feedback or testing or anything, so you can keep an older version of like before feedback and then a newer vision after feedback just to show the design process and not only your like client presentations, but also your portfolios. This is very helpful just so you don't have to keep sharing and copying links and pasting them into your team's chat. And it's like, oh, we have a new Figma link, so you gotta do a new Figma link, and you just have to like request access. It's just a bigger hassle than just making multiple pages. Just have just one link. Everybody works off that one link. Okay, so starting out with the designs, I do a frame first. This is gonna be like this crop button. And you guys are probably gonna focus more on desktop. They have preset dimensions over here. I just do regular generic desktop and it will preset the dimensions for you. I usually zoom out and just bring it down here. If you don't do that and you add let's say a rectangle into the frame, it's gonna cut it off. So if you have something like all the way down there, it's gonna hide it. So just make sure you extend your frame to however long the page is gonna be, just so you can see what you're working on. That was one of the big things that when I started working with it, I was like, why is all my text hiding and everything? And it's like, oh, I didn't extend the frame. Yeah, and to start adding elements into it, you can add a bunch of shapes in here. You can add images by maybe downloading an image and then just dragging and dropping it into your files, and then it'll automatically upload to it. And resizing is a pretty basic drag and drop kind of like PowerPoint. If you want to crop it, you just double click on it and go down here and go to crop, and then you can crop the dimensions. Let's say I just wanted Clyde. Uh, yeah, so that's how you do images. I mean, you can also edit it, but I'd suggest using a photo editor for specific images. Um, Also, pen and pencil you could use to draw things. There's also a specific draw section. Oh, I want the Bezier tool, which is just making anchor points, and you can just double click to finish it off. So that's helpful if you want to make more like custom shapes. And then let's say I want to make like a main navigation bar. You can click on any element, and over here in the design element, you can change the color and add effects like a drop shadow, and just like changes dimensions and intensities, like how dark it is, blurs, how spread out it is. There's all different kinds of effects that you could look at and play around with. It's definitely helpful for um, hover effects and prototyping phases that you want to do. And speaking of prototyping, you can prototype different elements or different pages. So for prototyping, it is a little tricky. Let's say, I want to make a big button, going around the corners, 40%. Just so you know, here's text. I'm just gonna put button. I'm gonna over here is where you change the font size. Just make it really big. And so I can also make it bold, italics, all of that. Change the color over here. They have like a bunch of fonts. And then you can group elements together by right-clicking group. And then if I wanted to make a hover effect, I usually take it out of the frame. And you're gonna have to do something called making components. This is just where you can animate specific features. Um, for example, if I wanted to add like a drop shadow hover effect, I'd have to create component, which is right-clicking, create component, and then you go down to main component and you go add variant. So it's gonna make a copy of this. And then you go over to the design section and you change it. So maybe I want to change it to a black button with white text. And then to prototype it, it has these like little circles, which you could use to drag and then connect it together, which is hard to see. I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see that a bit better. So I just dragged and moved the arrow to this other variant, and then for prototyping, you can pick all different kinds of interactions. For hover features, you would do while hovering, change to variant twos. These are just different things to do. You can play around with that. And then in order to add this button to your frame, you're gonna go over here, you're gonna go to assets, you're gonna find whatever it's called, group one. This is the button. Okay, we're gonna put that over there. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's really important. Use it from the assets, not the variant group. And then to play a prototype, you're just going to click present up here. And in window, you can share this with anybody, and it will only show the presentation file, not the editing file. It's loading, and then while you're hovering, it should it should change as well. Um, yeah, and then adding hyperlinks, you could make sure the button's selected on click. There's different navigations you can do, navigations to a new page or an open link, and I'm just gonna copy the OPPI link into there. So the cool thing is every time you change it, your type should update automatically, even if you have this open. So it should click to there. You might have to refresh it. Give it a minute. Loading. Click. Why isn't it? It's open in new tab. Click. Okay. Sometimes you have to troubleshoot things. Figma. That's the great thing about Figma. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to go back into here and then on click, open link. There we go. We have to go back to the variant and now we're going to play it and hopefully it works now. Okay. Um, on click. I click. There we go. There we
Right now, or did you use the
go.
original button? Oh, you got it. Okay.
I think it's good that it
Yeah.
did that and that I mean, because Figma does have its like quirks, so it's good to solve a problem for everybody.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I thought I like shift clicked and it was both open, but apparently it's like, no, I'm not doing the black button, I'm just doing the gray button. Yeah, so if it doesn't work, just go over to the variant and make sure it opens in a link. It usually should do in the assets unless you have conflicting prototypings sections. So that's anyway, that's how you open a hyperlink. It's definitely a troubleshooting thing. Um, Prototyping. I would also suggest in your prototype settings doing a custom size. So, when we're presenting, it's like very zoomed in here, like you can barely see this button. So what I usually do is I go custom size and I do the regular desktop dimensions, 190 to 820, and it should load it and zoom it out a bit. Yeah. So it loaded and zooms out a bit so you can see the whole page instead of it being so blown up on the presentation. So again, prototype settings, custom size, and then change the dimensions. What else? Do images, shapes, drawing, prototyping. To make another page, I would just make another frame, and then you just, let's say, instead of, opening a new link, I want you to navigate to this page. So you can either click the plus sign and then drag it to there, or you could select desktop 2 from the drop-down menu. And we're gonna change that in here because now it's conflicting and confused Figma, as we found out from when I was trying to put the new link in there. So it should automatically update even if you have this tab open. So it went to that new page as well. So that's how you navigate to new pages. Uh, I mean, you could copy and paste and it should, I'm gonna make a new frame. desktop. It should keep the same the same prototyping, which I like. So if you're making, for example, heading with a main header with different navigation labels like to the natural resources page, you can make all the prototyping beforehand and then just copy and paste it on everything. So that would make it look like, oh, sorry, the thingy. There we go. Natural resources. Let's say that's one navigation label. And this is the natural resource page. And then you can just group in design, you can group things together and just move the whole main navigation bar and copy paste and put it into every page. If it's on that page, it's automatically not gonna navigate to that page just because it's already navigating to that page and you're already on it. But yeah, I think that's everything I think is helpful for your designs. If you have any like specific how to do this questions, just know.
Yeah, that's a great time if anybody's like, I mean, hopefully everybody's been working on their prototype to some degree. If there's anything like, oh, we really wanted to do this function, or somebody had this design idea, this is a great time to ask Eden how it might translate into Figma. So go ahead,
Actually, I
guys.
would love to get some feedback on mine if that's okay.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's yeah, before we pull that up, does anyone have any questions? And then if not, we'll move right in taking a look at Chris's example and maybe that'll spark some ideas and questions.
I do have sort of a complicated question too that I'm not sure you might will know or not, but I want to try and ask. Um,
Can you pull your screen and share it, Chris?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do entire screen sharing. Okay, over to this. Open up my Figma here. So, we decided to do the map on the main page here, and our idea was to do toggleable layers that are open on the right side that would apply to this. Um, so we made this page. I've got navigation on the, oh boy, hang on a sec. That's not what I want. Do this. So we have, I also made this drop down with a legend. So my idea was once you toggle one of the options, then it'll show you just that on the legend. And so I made that a drop down with this thing in the corner here. And what I really want to do is have these actually function as toggles. So I'd love to be able to like click this and then it would show up on the map. I don't even know if you know how to do that.
Yeah, so can I share my screen just to
Yeah.
show you with variants? Yeah.
Do I need to stop sharing?
Yes. You're all good.
I'm not super used to this. Okay. Stop share. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, oh, okay. Share. Okay. You should be you should be on Figma now. Okay. So for toggling, what you want to do is make a variant for each state. So let's just quickly do it. Let's pretend this is the map right now. And let's make another rectangle. I'm just gonna make it a lighter color. This is the table. And gonna make boxes for the toggles. Black. Actually, I'm gonna make it gray. There you go. Okay. Copy, paste. Yeah. Okay, so then you want to make all the components that you want first, because once you get into like all the variants, it's really hard to add stuff to it. So let's say you have area of interest. So you want to put everything on the map first. Let's just say this is area of interest.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. And then this is another layer of the map. That's another layer. And then this is another layer of the map. Okay. And then you want to highlight everything, right click, create component, and then main component, add variant. And right in here, you can make sure that the default is set to where everything on the map is going to be low opacity. So I'm going to go over here, collect it to 0. Don't delete it because how variants work is they see the layer names in the different variants, and that's how they control the animation. So if vector 1 through 3, which is going to be the different map layers, isn't in the default, it's not going to show up in variant 2. Okay, so
Okay.
making it 0 opacity is gonna erase it on the default. So let's say, okay, this variant is gonna be when they click this. So you want to think of what is it gonna look like when they're gonna click this. So probably something to indicate that they have clicked this toggle. So a rectangle, maybe it's filled in kind of like a radio head button, and then you're gonna find area of interest. That's going to be 100% opacity, but the rest isn't going to be. So you're going to put it to 0. And that's what the first one's going to look like. And then when you prototype it, you're going to specifically go to the default and you're going to go to that rectangle specifically. And when you click this element, it's going to change to this variant of what it's going to look like. And then
Okay.
you can animate it. And then you're going to do that for every single one. Um, and if you have, let's say you want them to click this and this at the same time and have two open, you're going to have to create a variant with both of these options open. So you're going to go to design, add variant. Let's say they clicked this one first. Okay, now I'm on this one, and then they clicked this one next. So it's going to, same thing, go to that rectangle to indicate, okay, they clicked on it, whatever your indication is, changing its color or something, and then go to vector 2, which is the area that's connected to that toggle, change the opacity to 100%, and now both of those areas are open. But let's say, okay, the user's gonna click this first, and then like they decide to click this first. So you have to create another variant where they have that option. So you have to create every single possible combination that
So
a user is probably gonna click, which is
theoretically,
a little,
there'd be like 9 variants if I wanted the whole thing to be completely functional, right? Yeah.
yeah,
That's super
yeah,
complicated. Wow. I love it.
yeah, I know. It's very tedious
Um,
work.
if I chose to make a much simpler version, where for instance, if you clicked on any one of the variants I want, or any one of the changes that I wanted toggled, it would just toggle all three, just so it's more of like so it's explains it better. Um,
Yeah,
would that be acceptable for your project? Because I truthfully I think I could figure out how to make this work, but I don't think I can do it
yeah, I think
before the thing is due.
Yeah, I think because it's a prototype, maybe you just have a sample one, just this and then this. And like, okay, this is the sample button, and maybe the rest of the toggles are kind of grayed out. Like,
Okay.
here's your area of interest. Maybe that one's in complete bold, and you can click on it, but have an indication that this isn't clickable, like changing its color to a gray, so they know, oh, I can't
Okay.
click on that, but I can click on this, and it just shows that's just how it's gonna work. So since it's a prototype, you don't have to do everything. Um, I'm a little bit like detail oriented, so I usually do everything, but
Ian's like,
you
I can do
definitely
it though. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just piggyback off of that and say you can explain in your client presentation the like complexity of a function. If like you can like exactly what Eden's saying, like one of your toggle buttons is working and then you explain that the rest of them would, and you can at least demonstrate that interactability without like fully developing it, especially because we're in a condensed course. That's
Yeah.
that's totally fine. Gosh, what was I was gonna add something to that. Oh, is this part of one of your flows? Because if it is, if you're like, oh, the user task is for them to interact with the map or find this piece of information, then to help you pick like what you develop out, and hopefully people are understanding this through the course content. Um, but you have like your six user tasks, right? So you've got two personas, they're different from each other, similar but different, and you have three user tasks that Eden provided several like options for us to choose from. And so you're going to design the flows for those tasks. And so the clicks and the animations and the content that needs to be in place so that the user task can be seen through the flow completes, that is how you for sure want to make sure that those functions are working, right? For those six. And then a lot of the rest of it can be more placeholders with like how you anticipate the website works, or you know what I mean? Like we want those six tasks to
So
be interactable through. We want to be able to show our redesign of the data hub page. We want to be able to show a template idea for the 5 pages that we think could be boilerplated. And you could just design one of those as the template for the 5. And then we want to make adjustments to the interactive map based on the A/B testing if we can do that within the scope of how much time we have. But that's what you're doing. So not everything needs to function completely. Chris, I
I
don't know if
want to
that.
prioritize the red route tasks over
Yes.
everything else. That's the most important things. And we definitely did. I designed this specifically with your personas in mind, thinking about how industry professionals are the ones typically using this. My idea is like, let's reduce cognitive overflow. Let's make it a super simple, easy to use
Yes.
data hub with,
Great.
and I put the map right on the main page because that was the most important aspect of the whole thing. So that was definitely was my thinking about it.
That's great. And that's the kind of conversation you want to have in your client presentation as well. Wouldn't you agree, Eden, to kind of be like, why did I do
yes.
this? I was thinking about the persona, the business, that stakeholder or that outdoor experiential design expert just wants to get to the information. They're not there for a good time. Like they literally just want to they don't want to spend a ton of time exploring the site and enjoying that. They want to just get the information and get on with their job. So it is a bit utilitarian in that
Absolutely.
way. But don't forget
Absolutely.
to, still like when you're looking at the data hub, like we still want it to be aesthetically pleasing as far as how the homepage is laid out and your template for the 5 pages and stuff and on brand and
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Good. That's
my idea with that, oh, I'm so sorry.
no, go
I
for
didn't
it.
mean to interrupt you.
That's
My
fine.
idea
What
with
was
that
that?
was a hero banner at the top. I was thinking about doing a hero banner that scrolls just to highlight some of the other important functions of the data hub. And then that'll make it look modern and it makes it look up to date, and that improves the ethos of the data hub as well, right? It makes people think, oh, this is a very professional option. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
Yeah, no.
Hey, you have
I could definitely see that working. Sorry, some giant chunk of snow just fell outside. I'm like, what? Yeah, I like that idea. It'll be cool to see it in action. Did you have any other questions on your prototype with Figma that you were like, I don't know how to do this function, or does that answer where you are right now, Chris?
Actually, that was super, super helpful. That was the thing, the main thing I was struggling with there. So I'm feeling really confident.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
with interactive elements, it's definitely a bit tricky on Figma because you have to animate each
All those.
frame. For
Hmm.
yours, I would probably at least do four variants because you said multiple toggles could be selected. So maybe just have
Hmm.
uh, one toggle, and then two toggles together saying, yep, two toggles can be on at the same time. And you don't have to make like all those different variants of like nine or 10, like, like you were saying, like fully functional, just enough to get your point across.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for asking that question, Chris. Does anyone else have any questions on Figma functions or any questions specific to their prototype that Eden or I could help you out with while we're here?
Yeah, I have a question about the search bar.
Yeah.
So this, hold on one second. Okay. So my search bar, I really like the search bar on the OPPI page. I know it's hidden as a button, and I'm trying to expand that. Um, but the OPPI page has the am I sharing?
Not yet. I just
Okay.
allowed multiple presenters though.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, there you go.
So, if I wanted to, like your search, when you start typing something into the search bar, it has suggestions for that search. Does that make sense?
Yes. So like
Like
a
it,
drop down menu with different terms.
right. Um, is it possible for me to do that? Because I can't figure it out. Or should I
Yeah.
worry about that?
Um, so on Figma, it's gonna be more of a click demonstration than a typing demonstration, just because Figma can't do typing fields. So I can
Okay.
show you how to do that really quick.
All right.
Okay, so let's move this toolbar that Zoom makes. Okay, so let's have our search bar. We're gonna make all our components first before we make it into variants. Just gonna put search, search. Make that way bigger. And then we're gonna have like, were you talking about a drop-down menu below it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Terms. Okay. So
But
we'll just make this.
if you can't do typing fields in Figma, I think that answers my question because it was driving me crazy.
You can still demonstrate it. So let's
Okay.
say shed is one of the terms, or uh water plan is one of the terms. So we're gonna right click, create component. Okay, and then add variant. So for this, all you're gonna do is go to default, and you're gonna change the opacity of the drop-down menu to 0. And then in prototyping, when you click on this, it's going to change to the variant 2. So then all you have to do is click on the search bar and say, let's say they typed in water, and we're going to change search to water. So let's say they typed in that, and then different terms are going to show up. So that's how that's going to work. It's not exactly typing, but it's like I clicked on it, they typed water, and then these different terms show up, and then this, let's say it's gonna navigate to your search result page. You have your search result page. Come on. Over here. So you're gonna go to both water plant, watershed. They're gonna navigate to your search result page, whatever that's gonna look like. So then you have your component, and then you can click on search, say the user typed water, these search terms show up, they click on a search term, and then it goes to the search result page. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. I really appreciate it. That was gonna drive me crazy. It has been driving me crazy.
Does that
Yeah,
make sense, Caleb? Or because also I could probably post a tutorial on something like that that just goes over the same stuff, like components, variants, prototype. I mean, Eden just showed you, but I didn't know if you wanted another resource as well.
No, the video you put in the module today, that was actually covered.
Oh,
Most
good.
of
Perfect.
most of my questions were covered in that basics video, so
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was a pretty popular video actually. When I was going through them all and trying to find one that I thought might be more comprehensive yet approachable. Great. Thanks. Thanks, Eden. That one was complicated. There should be something simple. It doesn't have to be this like complex dance.
yeah. I don't know,
Um,
Figma is that. So
yeah. Great question, Caleb. Does anyone else have other questions or anything particular in their prototype, a function they're trying to add, a feature, that you might want to ask before we wrap? You guys feel good? Alvin, Josh, you guys are good? They're quiet, so I think that means it's good. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I think this, along with the online content and everything, everybody should feel like they're a little bit more empowered. Plus, you have another week to keep going. And then I think Eden and I are both excited to see what you guys are coming up with. Just even getting some quick peeks today, a week from today. It'll be really cool to see. It is intense. This next 2 weeks is like a month of design, all in these 2 weeks. So it probably feels a bit like a sprint, but it is one. Yeah, and then I think we're going to do this again on Friday. So if you had a quick question to pop in and ask on Friday, if you get further along in the prototyping process and run into another Figma hurdle, we'll just kind of do the same thing and see if anybody shows up and that's pretty much it. Same time, but Friday. Anybody have any final questions or anything? All right. Well, thank you again, Eden, so much for your time and expertise and willingness to continue to support students in all the ways, including Figma. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm going to close the meeting down in just a moment here, and then that's going to download this file, and then I'll post this to Canvas in Module 7 for you guys. Okay? All right. Thank you again. Everybody stay warm and dry out there. And I'll see you for sure, Eden, on Friday and maybe some other people. All right.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Of course.
We'll,
Bye.
we'll see you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.